Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central's CFL content for the fans, by the fans. We got another Week 11 preview coming right up as the Saskatchewan Roughriders take on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Hamilton with a loss last week to the Lions in a close game, 27-24 in favor of BC. Saskatchewan going into this with a 42-20 victory over the Ottawa Redblacks. Saskatchewan with a 6-2 record, and Hamilton with a 3-6 record. Initial thoughts going into this game, Rick?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's WrestleFest time. So those coming to the game this week, don't forget that in the south end of the stadium, they're going to be having WrestleFest. So come out and support it. It's from 5:15 to 6:30, and then the game starts half an hour after that, so you can still watch warm-ups, but I just wanted to throw that out there. My thoughts on this, now listen. People are going to call me a homer, they're going to call me crazy, but I'm going to say it again. Our Riders are starting a no-namer running back. If the defense, and just let me look at it here, if Peters and Talbot can shut down Keyshawn Johnson, we're good.
Okay, hold on a second. What do you mean they're
Thomas has never played a CFL game before.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Hold on a second. I need to... This is just a new face they're throwing in?
Yeah.
Because I was just checking to make sure that it wasn't... Yeah, oh shit. There you go, yeah. Well, we'll have to see, because I do think that Bertrand Hudon is probably going to get a lot more time. Just because, I mean, the Riders have done this before where they've put someone on the depth chart listed as starter, and then they've listed Conley as a starter and then predominantly play Bertrand Hudon, so we will see.
Yeah, but Hudon didn't even get that many yards last week.
Yeah. Regardless, though, let's
he did get
injury
63.
reports.
Yes, the lovely, sexy injury reports. We have
I don't know
Zach
if
Fry.
I've ever heard someone describe an injury report as sexy.
Zach Fry, offensive line knee out. Daniel Johnson, offensive line illness out. James Ledger Jr., wide receiver forearm out. Eli Sad, defensive line calf out. And Connolly, running back hamstring questionable. Over onto the Ticat side. Johnny Augustine, running back foot available. Shamar Bridges, wide receiver hip questionable. Gabriel Dabari, D-line arm questionable. Kenny Lawler, wide receiver illness available. Turnowski shoulder out. So apparently, from with what I've talked to with some sources, apparently Turnowski won't be able to play until he sees a specialist.
Oh.
So who knows when that's going to be? I forget what. I'd have to look at my phone to see what the type of specialist is that he has to go see before he can go back on the field. Quavian White. Quavian White is not a defensive lineman, people. He's a DB, so get it right. Hamstring available, and Azai Wooden, wide receiver, head available.
Yeah. Shall I get into the Rider side of things?
We shall. Or you shall, I should say.
Taking a look at the Rider side of things, Trevor Harris is going to be at starting QB with Jack Cohen behind him. Tommy Stevens still in as short yardage, so no change there at the QB side of things as expected. Same with the offensive line. Collins, Anderson, Furland, Brammer, and Hardrick will continue to be that starting five. And then, one of the biggest changes here at running back, Thomas listed as the starter, but we'll have to see if he actually does or if it's going to be predominantly Bertrand Hudon. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but another Another notable thing, again, a lot of injuries still on the receiver side of things. So the receivers going from left to right. On the left-hand side, it's going to be Jeet with Keyshawn Johnson over at left side slot back. Then on the right-hand side at wide receiver, it's going to be Duncan Busby with Weeb backing him up. And then the starting slot backs on the right-hand side is going to be Johnny Johnson, the third, as well as Mims with Janusis is going to be backing up Mims at right side slot
Former
back.
Stampeder.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's right. And then moving to the defensive side of things, that starting for defensive line, it's going to be Robertson, Sanders, Rose, as well as James Vaughters, who's had a decent year in Riderville this year. And then looking at that, at those linebackers, it's going to be Woods with Thurman and Brooks Jr., with a decent amount of backups there behind him. And then at secondary, it's going to be Marcus Sales with Edward, Ford, Fields, as well as Lacombo. So Devon Campbell still out. Roland Milligan Jr. still out. And then over at special teams, it's going to be Alex Hale at kicker, Chapman at punter, Benson at long snapper. And then who have they been playing at returner?
I've just been pretty much throwing whoever.
They've just been throwing out whoever they will at returner. So we'll see who ends up playing returner from them. But yeah, I'm gonna let you get into the
Ticats side of things.
Yes.
So left to right on the boundary side, we have Myron Mitchell and Kenny, the King Lawler. Left tackle Trevor Reed. Left guard Brendan Revenberg. Center, Liam Dobson and Nathaniel Dublin Duguay. Jonathan Dennis as right guard. Suardo as your right tackle. Wide receiver is Wheatfall. And then the next row is Keandre Smith and Isaiah Wooden Sr. At slot back, fullback tight end is Milanovic Litre, Max Mang, and Daniel Bell. Frost, Ford, and Joel Agala as your quarterbacks. Larry Roundtree and Johnny Augustine as your running backs. Curly Gittins Jr. and Tyson Middlemost as your slot backs. You have your kicker, Mark Legio, Gordon White as your long snapper. Mitch McCarthy as your punter, and then Isaiah Wood as your kick punt returner. On the defensive side, you have Julian Hauser and Ajid as defensive ends, Fox and Notice as your defensive tackles, Mario Kendricks as your other defensive tackle. Then you have Isaiah Begna, Philip Osai, and Owen Hubert as your other defensive tackle on the Canadian side. You have Helen Crook as your weak side linebacker, Ryan Baker and Winton McManus as your middle linebacker, Reggie Stubblefield, your Sam linebacker, and then your secondary is Jamal Peters and Tilbert on the boundary side, Stavros Katratonis, Pennebaker, and Nitty Trorick, and then Quavian White and Harl and Walton.
So let's hear your side of things, Rick, because again, this is you're the resident Ticat fan. This is your responsibility.
If Frost just needs to get on point with this throws. Stop throwing them over people's heads. Stop throwing them at people's feet. Throw the odd long bomb and stay short. Keep the Riders' defense on the field. Try to get a run game, and we will be fine.
Yeah.
Also, our defense. If Talbert and Peters can shut down Keyshawn Johnson like we have with Phil Pott from Montreal in the past, then Harris will have to look to other people to throw the ball to.
Yep.
And Thomas, we don't know what we're going to get from Thomas. Hudon only had 63 rushing yards last week. If our defense can play a full 4 quarters, I think we can come out with a win.
Yeah.
Because they don't have their big 3 wide receivers.
Yeah. Well, so we will have to see. Because their depth receivers in Riderville had done relatively well. But it is true that they are that regardless of how well they did,
And I mean, they're going
they're
up
big
against
names.
one of the top defenses too.
Yep.
So
So shall
time
we
will
check
tell.
out? So if we go to check out the
The predictions,
old,
yeah, everyone on their predictions is going to get their prediction wrong tomorrow.
every single one of them, English and French,
You know
all
what
took
though? It would be funny
Saskatchewan.
if they all got. It'd be funny if they all got their predictions wrong.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, as a Bomber fan, obviously, I do. I do hope that there's some inaccuracies there. But going over to the fan vote side of things, because I think we should take a look at that. I imagine that it's not going to do you any favors here, Rick. But if we go and take a look at it, it certainly won't. It's going to be a 90% to 10% split in favor of Saskatchewan. That is the fan vote.
You know how I feel tomorrow.
What?
My feelings are that week that me and you were the only ones who picked Hamilton winning.
Ah.
That's my feeling tomorrow.
Well, as much as I hope for
Yeah, I know you're
for
going for that gross
Hamilton,
green.
I'm
You're going for
I'm
that
I am
gross green.
unfortunately I have to pick that disgusting yuck green Saskatchewan
That's
team,
okay.
as I
That's
imagine they're
okay.
probably going to win.
My feelings aren't hurt.
You're taking Hamilton?
Of course, I'm taking Hamilton.
Well, just had to make sure. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, without further ado, we'll see you guys next time.